Players across Gielinor reporting a sudden urge to hop on a wooden raft and harpoon raw sharks in the middle of the ocean. Experts say sea fishing confidence is at an all-time high. Right up until the sweat lords calculate that fishing on land is still 2% more XP per hour. Tonight we've got a packed broadcast. Jagex dropped another round of game updates following the Wyrmscraig launch. We've got quality of life tweaks for the island, Sailing's getting its first big skilling integration, a new skilling pole, and Jagex secretly working on a back-end tech under the hood. Let's get straight into tonight's top stories. If it's on the teleprompter, you will read it. Our top story tonight, Wyrmscraig has been live for a week, and Jagex is already sweeping up the mess with some freshly rolled out patch notes. First up, goat hunter rumors. If you were losing your mind trying to get goat hooves, good news, Jagex increased the hoof drop rate from 1 in 50 to 1 in 48. And at level 99 hunter, you are now guaranteed to hit the pity threshold after filling 4 pits. Because nothing says high fantasy adventure quite like digging holes in the dirt for 3 hours just to get pity looted by a goat. Over at the Mad Angel encounter, players complained about clicking accuracy during the fight. Jagex responded by adding a shadow underneath the Mad Angel. That's right, a shadow. So if you were dying to the Mad Angel before, you could no longer blame missing click boxes. You just misclicked the floor. That's it. It's on you. Oh, and if you've been grinding Golem crafting, players across the island will no longer hear your crafting sound effects. So to the guy who spent 7 hours straight clanking rocks together in my left ear, your reign of terror is over. Moving on to sailing. Fishing in Gielinor? Classic. Fishing on a boat in real life? Relaxing. Fishing on a boat in Gielinor while wearing a frog head and mole slippers? Perfect. That's right. After a decade of slaying god-tier dragons, stepping into alternate dimensions, and mastering ancient magic, Gielinor's bravest adventurers have finally figured out how to hold a fishing rod while standing on a boat. Impressive. It only took us 25 years to figure out that fish actually lived in the ocean. But hey, progress is progress. You can now train fishing directly on your boat. The new ocean fishing spots are massive 5x5 fixed tiles that don't move around like the shoals in deep sea trawling. But here's the actual breakdown you're going to need to know before you start casting your lines. If you're cruising around on a high-tier sloop or skiff, I hope you like rod fishing because that's all those boats support. If you want to use a harpoon, a big net, or any of those other tools, you're going to need a raft. Your multi-million GP max flagship just gets a basic rod. If you want to use that harpoon on a raw shark, you're going to have to stand on 3 logs tied together with hemp rope like a shipwrecked survivor. Also, Jagex is opening a poll later today asking if they should buff the jeweler's chisel. The proposal would speed up cutting the bolt tips from gems from 5 ticks down to 2 ticks, plus a 1 in 10 chance to cut 2 gems at once. Jagex released a statement confirming they are exploring localizing OSRS into other languages, which is great news. Now when somebody crashes your spot, they can tell you to leave in 4 or 5 different languages. Truly a global gaming experience. And now it's time to hear from the voice of Gielinor. We're joined this week by Slavic. Appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
So today's update brought some pretty interesting changes, especially giving rafts a dedicated identity for heavy net and harpoon fishing at sea. What's your take on how Jagex handled boat-specific skilling?
I think it's nice that they're still doing things to implement tweaks and keep sailing fresh even this far out from dropping it, especially things like making rafts relevant to the skill again. Anything to not let my raft rot at Moosa Point, I think is a good thing.
Sure. I mean, that's exactly it. I think back of my boats. Why am I giving my fuck my opinion? Now, Slav, with you being a mid-game player right now, having a very mid-game account, and I'm there with you, I think about constantly things that I would have told myself in that early month or two coming back to the game. Is there anything that you would have specifically told yourself to focus on if you could go back in time?
Yeah, just spreading your time out amongst your skills, like even the ones that you don't really care for doing, because when you start getting a little bit deeper into your quest, unlock content and stuff, not having to grind from, say, 12 hunter up to 45 it's nice when you can spread it out over a couple years or even a couple months, depending on how fast you're progressing through the game.
For sure. Well, I appreciate you being here, Slav. That is the voice of Gielinor. And by the way, Slav, I just wanted to remind you, Jay still doesn't have his fire kit. Appreciate your time, sir. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Whether you're out on the open sea harpooning raw sharks on a raft or digging up goat hooves on Wyrmscraig, stay safe out there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below letting me know if you're taking a raft out fishing this week. I'm Wise Old Noob. Stay wise, stay noobie.